Did you know that 85% of your success in anything will be determined by how you communicate? Ladies and gentlemen, this is another rocking episode of your favorite show, Life in 5. Today I'm honored and privileged to host two of my friends. They'll introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Brenda Chena, and I'm so privileged to be here.
And I'm John Fraser Chen, a journalist by profession.
Okay, and I'm your host, Ukaka Kere, an agricultural business specialist. So today we are taking down a topic we have all been waiting for, that is communication in relationship. So we're going to start by defining what communication is. CP, what do you understand by the word effective communication?
Effective communication to me is communication with intent.
Wow, simple and factual and
Simple
clear.
as that. Communication with intent.
Wow. So Brandy, what do you have to say about effective communication?
Effective communication is communication that bridges people together, that brings connection. All these can be achieved through mediums, let's say mediums and verbal cues. Yeah,
So you're talking about
verbal cues,
and
verbal
verbal.
cues, and words. Yeah.
So when you talk about communication, it's a big thing. But let's take it down. Let's go to our first question.
Yeah.
Like, how can couple ensure that both partners feel heard and understood in a conversation?
Wow. For partners to feel heard and understood in a conversation,
Yeah.
the conversation has to come from a point of honesty, and not just on. When I'm talking about conversation coming from a point of honesty, I think there's a level of vulnerability that also has to be there for a communication to feel that way. So it has to come from a point of honesty.
Wow, I love that point. When you're talking about honesty, it's one of the most important things. Brandy, what do you have to say? The question is, I read it again.
Yeah.
But how can couples ensure that both partners feel heard and understood in a relationship?
For partners to feel heard and understood, first, for the one being command, for the one communicating the need, he or she should be clear. The intentions should be clear. And for the recipient, for the one who the feedback is needed from, was he present? Did he get the need? And how is he tackling that need through that communication? For the partner to be satisfied, there has to be a change. Like if there was a disconnect, I said this was not happening and I've communicated it well. For me to be satisfied and say, yes, I've been understood, there has to be a change. The feedback would be a change on how now, moving forward, this will be going to be tackled and handled.
See, I love your points when you're talking about feedback as one of the important things. On my own way, I'd say that let's learn to communicate for us to be understood. I feel like one of the biggest challenges we experience is that we expect the other partner to understand us without expressing ourselves. So you feel like our emotions, the way we feel. So let's learn to speak out how we feel and communicate effectively for us to be understood.
Just to add a point on that, there's a say that unsaid expectation is a premeditated is a premeditated bitterness. Like when you don't say your expectations, you are like premeditating bitterness. Mbona nifanyie hivi? You never said it. I mean, like I'm not psychic. You have to say whatever you want to be done.
Wow, that's great. So let's go to our second question. I love the point, JP. What are some of the strategies for de-escalating arguments and communicating calmly during disagreements? So when you talk about disagreements, so let's start by understanding what are some of the causes of disagreements in relationships, if you can mention.
Causes of disagreements in a relationship. These are very many. There are very many factors that cause disagreements in a relationship. There are very many compelling causes that will lead to partners to disagree. I really can't pinpoint because cheating. They're like some are cheating, some are trials and tribulation, like job loss, grief. All those can lead to disagreement. But how you can go about disagreement? Now, this is now what we partners or couples should really discuss. Like, how do you handle that? Like safety and security. There are ways to deal with that. How do you deal with that? And I think
So we are going next. We are going to handle that. How do we deal with arguments? But before that, let's hear what JP has to say about what causes disagreement in most relationships.
Just like Brandy has said, I think it's subjective. It's subjective because it comes from several angles. But the thing I'd say is just basically understand.
Basically,
Understand. Yeah. It could be a misunderstanding in whatever the situation or whatever the circumstance, but it narrows down to misunderstanding.
oh, exactly. So now, how do we handle disagreement? And when you talk about disagreement, I want us to picture where there's a conflict between two parties and they totally disagree. Maybe we can talk about emotional disconnection, which maybe it depends on what is the cause of that argument. So, how do we handle? What are some of the steps or things we need to have for us to handle such situation?
handling disagreement. Well, before partners decide that they're going to be in a relationship,
Yeah.
they are married or they're courting, they ought to have discussed love languages and how they handle conflict. Because most couples they dwell on your love language, oh, I love this and I love this, but do they really discuss how they handle conflict? Because when a conflict how do you go about that? Because when a conflict sprouts is when you'll understand, oh, so my partner is one when we disagree, he walks away, like he'll give me stress. Mine is who shouts, mine is who cries. So how do you handle that? You understand that he walks away, you give him time. When he comes back, you sit and have a common bearing and say, okay, we agreed about this, and this is what I feel. So it's really understanding how they handle themselves, how emotionally in that parameter of that scene. Yeah. Are they walking away? Are they triggered like they want to be violent? Yeah. So how you handle that is how you can be able to move forward.
I love that. Mostly, just to echo on what you said, like we don't sit down to have real conversations when we're entering into relationship. Talk about very shallow things like food, favorite hobbies,
Favorite
But
color.
do we really have time to talk about the real things, like handling conflict? Brandy has echoed.
Yeah,
So I really love that point, Brandy.
Yeah.
Echo JP. Sorry. Or what do you have to say about how do we handle those arguments?
I think it depends on the level of argument you and your partner are in. You know, there are certain arguments that you might lash out, and there are disagreements that you can talk to each other on the spot. So there are certain disagreements that you personally, and I'm the kind that never lash out. So kuna zile disagreements I could just take a step, niende tu nje ni chill kwanza, ama like ninyamaze tu kwanza, then we'll come and handle it later. But kuna zile zenye like, okay, why did you do this? Like, mbona ulifanya hivi? There are those never face head on immediately, and there are those that just require time. Yeah, you just have to digest, I think.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So let's go to our next question, which is how important is it for couples to regularly check in with each other about the emotional needs?
A regular check-in about the emotional needs. This is how you communicate. Yeah. Because when you wake up in the morning, let's say if you are to date, when you wake up in the morning, good morning. Maybe how from the tone of your good morning, that's a check-in. Yeah, you'll be like, oh, that's positive. Emotional check-in, I think you can discern it through the tone, through the verb, the body changes, through the physical, like maybe I'm moody, your good morning, the brush ups, the rolling of eyes. No, that's also a check-in. Yeah, so regularly, it's how you communicate, how permeable you are with your partner, how you handle conversations. Yeah, so that's it's a day to day kind of thing.
So JP, in one word,
Yeah.
like what is that? How would you boost the emotional needs of your partner? Just in one word, or not in one word, in one statement.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Will it really fit in a statement? What I'm trying to say is that I think emotional needs are something you should check as regular as possible, because you could be emotionally unavailable just for a weekend. Before you even realize it, it's the whole year. So it's something that I think you should constantly and as often as possible check the emotional needs of your partner. Like, what does she want emotionally? What am I not doing? You should ask yourself such questions.
Yeah. So for me, I'd say that communication is a very important tool when it comes to actually fulfilling the emotional needs of your partner, and that's why they say communication is very important in relationship. So the fact that they feel that you're there, you always communicate, whether it's a long distance kind of a thing, you make calls, you do text, you find out how they're doing. That one really works magic. Let's go to our second last question, and that is, what roles does active listening play in building trust and intimacy?
What roles do active listening build?
Yeah, in fact, can you try to make us understand the difference between listening
And active listening.
and hearing?
Oh yeah.
Listening.
Yeah, there's that thing, by the way. There's that thing we were told in camp, like when we were learning communication skills back in campus. We were like listening and hearing, and I was like, what is this person trying to say? But I think listening and hearing is just, I mean, wow, it's a tricky one.
Brandy, what do you have to say?
Listening and hearing. Well, hearing is just, I'd say you are fully aware that your senses of hearing are functioning and are working. Like if I drop something, you're like, oh, it dropped and it made a huge bang. That's hearing. You're like, you're aware your hearing senses are working. But listening is now you're being present in that conversation. Like, how are you empath? Do you have empathy? Do you understand the other's point of view, like in a respectful way, and how you respond? Are you thoughtful? You get, because you, in listening, you don't just respond, you have to understand their point of view. You really have to be there, like, okay, be present. You get, in how they're articulating, in how they are moving, in how you be present in that conversation and in that communication.
That was well molded.
Exactly. So actually listening, hearing is just getting the information without actually getting the meaning out of it. You just hear, you get the information. But now listening is the ability to hear the message and interpret it and act accordingly. So I feel like most of us, we don't listen. And I remember one psychology was stated that when you are in a conversation with somebody, you should be keen enough to listen to what they're not saying.
Yeah, there's always so much left within the unsaid. True.
Exactly. And they say silence speaks louder. Easy, how do you say it?
It's
like silence speaks the loudest.
Actions speak louder than words.
No. They say that silence is also a form of communication.
Yeah.
And they say silence speaks the loudest.
Yes.
All right. So
parting shot or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think because of our time policy, we're going to wrap it with a parting shot from every one of us, and from that we can learn something from communication. So, what is that one last thing we'd say above all about communication?
About communication.
Yeah, and having in mind that we're talking about communication in relationship.
In relationships.
Yeah.
I think in relationship you have a partner who you are vulnerable with. Don't be afraid to communicate your needs. Don't be afraid to be clear. Yes, to be clear on your intentions, on your emotions, because this is a person you've chosen them to, so they know you, and you expect them to know you. Really, no.
All right,
Okay,
John.
no, wait.
Okay,
So
before
let me
that,
put it
let's
this
give
way.
John praise. Huh?
Yeah.
John praise. What would you say? Your last
Okay.
part in short.
My part in short on communication, effective
In
communication.
reference to relationship.
In reference to relationships, I think communication is the bridge to a deeper connection between two people. And if you're not communicating right, even as much as you love each other, if you're not communicating the right way, it's doomed. That's my parting shot.
So my last word would be like communication.
You're
for
cutting
me.
me off, so I'm not going
All right, let me give you the.
You'll have to.
Let me give you the chance. Okay.
My parting shot: communication in relationships. Be clear on your needs. Communicate them. At the end of the day, your partner should be someone who you resonate with on the same emotional level. They shouldn't be condescending. Don't be afraid or be vulnerable with them. Be vulnerable when needed.
Wow, that's fantastic. I'll say my last word is listen more and talk less, and only talk when needed or when necessary. So that has been
That has been our episode for today on effective communication on Life in 5.
See you next time.
okay. See you. Bye bye, guys.